It hasn't been very good this season, but the Oklahoma Sooners aren't committed enough to the running game.
You are Locked On Sooners, your daily podcast on the Oklahoma Sooners. Part of the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day.
What's up, Sooner Nation? Welcome to Locked On Sooners, and thank you for making Locked On Sooners your first listen every single day. Shout out to all the everydayers out there. Tune in and subscribe to the show wherever you get your podcasts. We're part of the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day. He's Jay Smith of Unfair Sports. I'm John Williams of Sooners Wire and USA Today Sports. On today's show, we're going to talk about the tight ends. Is there a fix? We'll discuss what Brent Venables and Ben Arbuckle had to say during their Tuesday press conference. But we're going to start here, a place where we kind of left off in the first segment yesterday, talking about the Oklahoma Sooners running game and what can be done to fix it. Jay, I just don't feel like they've been committed enough to running the football. Oklahoma had a lead in the first quarter on Saturday against the Texas Longhorns, and they gave their running backs, Tory, Blaylock, and Jaydn, 3 carries. Tory Blaylock got 2, Jaydn got 1, and that's all they got in the first quarter. In the second quarter, Oklahoma running backs received 6 carries. A little bit better, but still not a ton. John Mateer was responsible for 25 plays, whether he ran it, threw it, or was sacked. That is a disparity that the Oklahoma Sooners and Ben Arbuckle have to remedy. They've got to commit more to the running game, Jay.
Is it a CEO conspiracy? I mean, I get you. I'm not going to disagree with you in that the commitment needs to be increased. Because I mean, to me, the biggest problem is it's a combination. It's a combination that the run blocking isn't there, but at the same time, it's also the vision of the running backs. Like I went back and looked at a couple of plays that run that Tory Blaylock had for 11 yards. If he didn't bump into his lineman and then bounce out and go, if he would have just went straight to the outside, he probably got like 20. He probably got 25. He could have made somebody miss and even go further. It's just, it shows a little bit of his inexperience. That's not a knock on him. He's still young. He's still learning and he's still growing. And I think he's going to be a phenomenal back as he continues to improve. But that's where we got to get better. To me is we just got to get better on executing when there is an opportunity for you to run up the middle and get some yards. When there's a hole there, you got to go in there and you got to find them and bust through. But no, you're not wrong with the fact that they're not committed enough to it. I think that we got to get more creative with it now. And Gabe Eichert said this, and I've been thinking about this for a while. Stop asking your tight ends to block, period. Their job is to get in the way, not to block. So you need to spread them out, do 4 wide, trips left with 1 on the right, and just make it to where there's just space. And then let our running backs show us how dynamic they can be and how they can create and do their own thing from there. That, to me, is probably the way that I feel like Oklahoma can be successful.
Part of it, to me, is just it's hard for a running back to really get going if you're not getting the ball. I mean, running the football, there's a lot of feel to it. There's a lot of this kind of momentum that gets built. Yeah, it's great if you can just haul off and have a 5-yard carry on the first carry of the game, but against a good Texas defense, that's going to be difficult. You're going to have a hard time running the ball, but there's multiple reasons why you continue to run it, even if it's not efficient and it's not effective. You do it simply to wear down that other team. You do it just to keep them honest. You do it so your running backs can get into the flow of a game. If Tory Blaylock gets a carry on the first drive and he doesn't see another carry until the 3rd or 4th drive, it's hard to be in the flow of the game. If Jaydn comes in, and Jaydn's a whole nother discussion, but if Jaydn comes in for 1 carry and then he gets 1 screen pass and it's not until like the end of the first quarter, it's hard to get into the flow of the game.
Yeah.
Ben Arbuckle, he says they want to run the football, and I believe it. I get that the offensive line isn't blocking great. I understand that. I don't care. Run the rock.
you believe him. I don't know why you believe him, because he's not showing you a single reason why
Yes, it's true.
he should be believed, right?
Yeah.
Like when people show you who they are, you should believe them on that instead of trying to say and give them that much grace. John, you're too nice. Stop
I
being
think he's
so nice.
overthinking it. I just think he's
But you
overthinking
were-
it. He's like, oh man, that run.
You weren't
only
even
went
nice to
2
me
yards.
yesterday. You're gonna be nice to Ben Arbuckle on those lies he told you today.
Well, now I'm not. I'm telling you, I think he's overthinking things. Like
He really is. Yeah,
know,
you're 100% right there.
Well, Blaylock got to carry for 2 yards. Oh crap, the run game's not going to work. We shouldn't do it. No, keep running it.
Well, they didn't even ask, though, when you go to the presser that they had, John, like the presser that went down yesterday on Tuesday with Brent Venables as well as Ben Arbuckle, they both addressed that as well in the press conference. And the one thing that Ben said that, and I got a little perturbed, right? I actually even made a video over my channel as well, kind of dissecting that, because I was punching the air when he said it. He said that like 2 days before games, they have a meeting, him and, DeMarco Murray and the position coaches, and they talk about rotations and they determine, who they should play. And then, and they go off of what Murray decides, unless Ben says, nah, I really want to see this dude. What are we doing? Like, well, why? Right. Explain to me, what sense does that make? Mm-hmm. Why are we even going through and doing things of that nature? Yeah. Like, for real, like on a serious note, I don't understand the value in you saying you want to change it up and knowing that is literally where your problem is. We need an RB1. And he's now said it. Ben did tell us RB1 will be Tory Blaylock. Good. Run him into the ground. Yeah. I mean, and it's not even saying shade to Tory. Tory deserves the opportunity to run the ball 28 times in the game. Hand that man the ball and let him keep running. We can't do a 2 running back system because it doesn't work for us right now. You will have to give him breaks occasionally, but when you give him breaks, put in a running back that will block on the pass, or put Jaydn in and make him block. Say, look, you better learn how to block. If you learn how to block, you'll get carries. We can work something out there, but we need RB1, focus on one back, and I think that now I'm hoping going forward we see nothing but Tory Blaylock, as he is the one that has been showing us the most.
Right, because he's running for gains of 10 yards or more at least multiple times a game. I mean, he had 2 of those against Texas, and like he got credited with the John Mateer trying to play Jackson Arnold. I'm running right, and then all of a sudden I'm going to throw a lateral out to the sideline and completely miss, and that fumble goes back for 13, 14 yards. Well, those numbers went against Tory Blaylock's ledger because it was quote unquote a run play. Well, that shouldn't have been the case. Like, Tory Blaylock's a good runner. Keep giving him the ball.
Feed me, Seymour.
Let him continue to just build his confidence. Let him continue to just pick up the dirty yards. Like, that's the part that's going to help propel this team forward. We saw it against Michigan. We saw it against Auburn. As long as they're getting 3-4 yards a pop, it's good enough to keep defenses honest and allow John Mateer to do what John Mateer does. And that's move around in the pocket, roll out of the pocket, run himself. You don't want to run him into the ground. We got 6 more games on the season. We talked about it after the Michigan game, right? When he had 18, 19 carries in that one, that we said, you don't want to do that every single week. And he had 14, he got credited with 14 rush attempts against Texas. 5 of those were sacks. You don't want to do that. Rely on your running backs, give them more opportunities to get into the flow of the game early. And yes, you don't want to always run into a heavy box, but sometimes, yeah, you do, just to go tell the defense, like, hey, listen, we're running the ball, so you better pay attention to it.
Or play action. Play action works in a heavy box. Yep. Make them think, and that's something we need to do. Plus, we need to be creative with how, like I said, we leverage the tight ends, and that's something we need to talk about in the third segment. We'll talk about fixing that spot, but we need to get just creative on the offensive side of the ball. We can. We have the horses for creativity. We may not have the horses for brute force in certain spots. And again, this is just a friendly reminder for the brand of football that you all as fans would like to see, where we play with a lot of physicality. You will have collateral damage. Go look at the San Francisco 49ers, the Detroit Lions, the Baltimore Ravens, right? Go look at the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. A lot of teams that play super physical type games, dealing with half their players injured all the time. Look, it is what it is. That's the game is the game. And heck, San Francisco and Baltimore have a history of it, and so do Detroit. So this is not something that's new for them. They always got dudes falling apart because they play a physical style. Oklahoma's now at that point where we're always physical. We push around a lot of teams, but we need to, we're going to have to get to where we're in that weight room really pushing people around. We need to get this offensive line going. And to me, just go out there and be creative and have people shade folks or chip folks or get past it and get smart with it. And hey, if you need to let a free blitzer go through, make sure you do it in a way to where they miss and you can keep the plays going. But you're going to do something, period.
Yeah. Got to make some adjustments and got to be a little bit better in everything. So we'll discuss what Ben Arbuckle and Brent Venables had to say in their weekly press conference on Tuesday. Coming up next here on Locked On Sooners.
Mazda craft cars for those who do more than simply move. Mazda delivers confidence with every ride with more IHS Top Safety Picks awards than anyone else as of August of 2025. And from the footwork to breathwork, athletes sweat all the details. Mazda brings this same intention to how we craft every model. You can make everyday drives feel like anything but, from smooth handling to intuitive controls. And with all-wheel drive standard in every crossover SUV, you can drive with confidence through almost any season. Like our players, we sweat every detail because when you make every move count, impossible becomes irrelevant. Mazda, move and be moved.
And Peloton is shaping the way and the future of fitness with the brand new Peloton Cross Training Tread Plus, powered by Peloton IQ. It's their most advanced equipment yet, designed to give you real-time guidance and endless ways to move, whether you're running, lifting, or cross-training with your favorite instructors. This is training reimagined. Peloton is built for breakthroughs with tools that help you plan, stay motivated, and reach peak performance. I love how the Peloton IQ system offers real-time strength coaching. It actually tracks your reps, suggests the right weights, and corrects your form, making every rep safer and smarter. The swivel screen, man, that's a game changer. You can go from running on the Tread Plus to strength training without missing a beat. So let yourself run, lift, flex, and push forward. Explore the new Peloton Cross Training Tread Plus today at onepeloton.com. Once again, thanks for making Locked On Sooners your first listen every single day. Shout out to all the everydayers out there. Tune in and subscribe to the show wherever you get your podcast. We're part of the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day. Jay, what stood out to you from the Tuesday press conferences?
So both Ben Arbuckle and Brent Venables had a lot to say about John Mateer. Ben opened about John, and throughout BVs, they kind of asked him about, how John is handling how brutal of a game that was. And I got to say, they both said some pretty interesting stuff. First off, Brent Venables mentioned how he has even more respect for John Mateer after the loss than, even before, which I'm just like, okay, what does that mean? But he really talked about his character and the way that he handled that situation. And, he talked about how he didn't make any excuses. He told him that he needs to be more patient. He needs to fix this thing. He needs to do this. He needs to do that. And to me, that's a testament of what you would hope out of your leader of the squad, to be able to, take responsibility for what went down and said, you know what, I got things to fix. I'm going to fix those things and we're going to be good to go. I like that. Yeah, and then Ben talked about some stuff as well. We'll go in a minute.
Well, I was going to say that's where I was going to go with it, because I felt like I really enjoyed Ben's response to it. It's like, hey, I trust him to bounce back. At the same time, I'm going to keep coaching him because that's my job, is to not like, yes, I trust that he's going to do what he needs to do to play better. At the same time, I have a responsibility to coach him and to point out the ways that he struggled, the ways that maybe his feet weren't right or his eyes weren't right. Like, that's going to be the case. And that's what you want. Like, you don't want a coach that's going to just say, hey, no, it's on you, go fix it. No, it's on us. Let's fix it together. And I think that's great, man. Because feedback is important. Like, that's what coaching is. Coaching is feedback. Coaching is seeing what's working, seeing what's not, and providing feedback. I'm doing it with 4 and 5 year olds on the soccer field, and Ben Arbuckle's doing it with John Mateer as well. And it's an important part of the game. And so as much as, hey, John Mateer's like, hey, I'm going to get right, Ben Arbuckle's like, yeah, we're going to get right.
Yeah, I appreciate the fact that you're willing to do that for the kiddos there, John, because I tried it and it didn't last very long. Yeah, it's not for me. But I thought that was intriguing of I did like how they pointed out John's leadership and how he's not letting this quote unquote phase him. He's flushing and he's moving forward and he's gonna go out there and focus on the bounce back. Another one though, we talked about this kind of in the green room before we got started, John. But hey, man, Taylor Wine out there cooking, dog. Like I thought that he was good.
Mm-hmm.
I thought he was going to be a solid contributor, but goodness gracious. So BV told the story of how they found him as well. Did you see y'all some for the uninitiated?
Cooking quesadillas for the kids while that was happening. So definitely recount the story here.
Oh yeah, so BV, he asked them if they knew how, they knew the story, and so what happened was Colton Vasek, the edge that now is at Texas, he decommitted from Oklahoma, and so they had to, figure out something else, right? And so I know that they were in Tennessee looking at a wide receiver or whatnot, and they saw Taylor Wine, and they were just like, "Oh, okay, yeah, this might be somebody that we can ride with," and boom, he ends up at Oklahoma out of Tennessee. And I don't even think they originally was even looking for the kid. They found him while searching for somebody else, and I thought that was a quite fascinating take.
What was neat was they were even trying to commit before ever visiting. And
Yeah.
Like, wait, hold on. Wait a minute. I guess because the dad was from the Oklahoma City area and they were Oklahoma fans. And so there was connections there, but he was like, wait a minute, let's just chill out. But no, and that Taylor Wine he's the proverbial first in the building, last to leave kind of a guy. Brent Venables even joked about,
guy, yeah.
Are your grades cool? Or your class is going okay? And because he's always up in the building doing what he needs to do to get better. And what's neat is R. Mason Thomas back at SEC Media Days, when asked who was going to be a breakout player at defensive end, said Taylor Wine. And he said he's going to have 5 sacks this year. Well, how many sacks does Taylor Wine have right now? 3.5. Who's that tied with for number 10 in the SEC? Dylan Stewart, who was considered by everybody to be a top 10 player in college football right now. So, everybody always wants to trash on Oklahoma for being quote unquote 3-star U, but here's a 3-star prospect in Taylor Wine that's absolutely balling right now in his second year. Well, I guess third year at Oklahoma. It's taken off, man. The dude is having a breakout for the Sooners, and the kid's got a bright future because even when he's not the guy making the play, he is creating so much havoc for offensive lines that he's collapsing so much that's allowing other guys to make a play. He's like the David Stone at defensive end.
Yeah, and that shows you how good the line is, and he's also hurting my agenda right now with Jaydn Jackson having 3 sacks and leading the team in sacks. So I'd appreciate if he'd slow down and do a really good job of causing it so Jaydn can get the rest of those sacks. But no, on a serious note, it's impressive just how good this defensive line has played and how the edges have been. Like you said, you get Taylor Wine at 3.5, Jaydn Jackson at 3, R. Mason Thomas at 4. Like, if I told you that this was going to happen going into this, if I told you that Oklahoma was still going to be the number 1 defense going into this game, the 7th game of the season against South Carolina, you'd laugh at me and say, there's no way Brent Venables figured that out. There's no way they were going to get that, be able to do that. Even with the loss to Texas, I mean, we only gave up 300 yards of total offense. That's the highest this year. And truth be told, there's a good chance that is the highest we give up this season. We could end up the season giving up less than 300 yards every single game going forward, just because this defense has shown that it's really hard. Even if you're giving up big plays, it's still really hard to sustain drives. Like, we just need to make sure we don't miss tackles and don't be trying to go in there for fumbles. I don't care about turnovers at this point. If you get 3 and outs, get 3 and outs, I give 2 bleeps about you getting turnovers, because to me, that's a turnover in itself. If you force somebody to punt within 3 plays, you've basically caused a turnover, and now they got to kick it deep to get rid of the ball. So keep doing that. Focus on that part. Go look at the big picture. Focus on not giving up a bunch of yards, making quarterbacks get rid of the ball in ways that they don't want to, and stifle up drives as much as possible, because with the way the numbers are going right now, man, I'm very happy with the way this defense is performing. I just need them to stay consistent with that against every single team. Plus, I need the offense to contribute. That's about it.
Yeah, and if the offense contributes, this defense is good enough to go win a lot of football games. Anything else stand out to you from the press conferences? I think the run game was a big, topic of conversation. Well, we already kind of touched on that. Really, offensive line play in general.
Yeah, we kind of talked about that in the last segment about the run game and what's wrong with it and what's going on. And BV gave us an update on Taylor Tatum as well as Javonte Barnes. He mentioned that Taylor Tatum basically is just snake bitten. He's dealing with a foot injury, he's dealing with a hamstring injury, just everything luck wise hasn't been that good. And then Javonte Barnes hurt himself in pregame workout, so you didn't see him on the injury report. But pregame, he pulled a little something in the hammy and he couldn't play, in which probably would have been nice having him out there on the pass blocking capabilities because that's one thing he's really good at. Heck, that jet sweep probably would have went for 50 yards if you had Javonte Barnes out there running at Anthony Hill. He has no fear in that capacity. So, but yeah, we're dealing with some stuff. You got ankle injury, the hammy, just you name it with Taylor Tatum. He's dealing with it. But he also praised Tory Blaylock as the MVP, and it appears that they are for real about making him RB1 and just say, screw it, you're going to be the dude that's going to run the ball every time, and we're going to just ride you for the rest of the season. So let's get it.
Yep, feed 6. That's what we need to be doing from here on out.
And
Xavier Robinson. I'm happy to see Xavier Robinson get a bunch of carries as well because I know that dude's going to just pound on some guys. Phrasing. And coming up, we're going to talk about tight ends. Also phrasing. Can they be fixed? We'll discuss coming up here on Locked On Sooners.
Oh, man. Oh, my goodness. When opening whistle blows on a new repair, get your crew moving forward with SupplyHouse. Order today and see parts on your doorstep tomorrow. Over 280,000 plumbing and HVAC and electrical items from the most trusted brands in the business. Their real-time inventory and honest lead times keeps you from punting projects, while their industry-leading customer service always has your blind side covered, similar to this offensive line right now. So you need a part fast for a project? Psh, they got next day delivery. Talk about a game changer. Plus, their trade master perks like priority shipping and dedicated support makes the whole process smoother. So join the free Trade Master program today and score serious perks like priority shipping, lower prices, and dedicated support line. Visit supplyhouse.com to sign up for free and use the promo code SHCollege5 for 5% off your first order. You can see it in the graphic below. That's supplyhouse.com. Real people, real service.
And the holidays are going to be here before you know it, which is exciting, but getting your home ready for guests and celebrations can feel like a lot. Maybe your serveware needs a refresh, or the guest room could use new bedding. Wayfair has everything you need to get your home holiday ready. From Christmas trees and wreaths to bedding, cookware, and outdoor inflatables, it's your one-stop shop for every room in the house. Wayfair makes it easy to personalize your home for the holidays with a huge selection for every style and budget. And with free and easy delivery, even on the big stuff, you can get everything you need without the hassle of huge delivery fees. We've been looking for some bedside tables, and Wayfair had a lot of great options for us to look at. The delivery is fast and free, which was a lifesaver, and it's especially so during a busy time of year like the holidays. So get organized, refreshed, and ready for the holidays for way less. Head to wayfair.com right now to shop all things home. That's WAYFAIR.com. Wayfair, every style, every home. Thanks again for making Locked On Sooners your first listen every single day. Shout out to all the everydayers out there. Tune in and subscribe to the show wherever you get your podcasts. We're part of the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day. Jay, I think we've both been encouraged by Jaren Kanek's performance as a pass catcher through the first 6 games of the 2025 season. Yet it still feels like there's more to be had from the Oklahoma Sooners tight ends group as a whole.
Yeah, it's been a
mixed bag.
Is that the words we can use? Should we call it a
I think so, because when targeted in the passing game, Jaren Kanek's been pretty good. He just needs to figure out how to block. And I, for one, am willing to give him some grace because, as I've said on the show before, has he ever in his life been asked to block somebody?
No, actually, he has not.
I guarantee that even in first and second grade football, that he was one of the most athletic kids out there on the football field and was not playing offensive line in Pee Wee football. So this is the first time that he's ever been asked to really block somebody. And yes, he's got to get better at it. And I'm not going to sugarcoat that at all, but it's not like he's been playing the position for 4 years and can't block anybody.
Yeah, he has not been asked to block, and now he's being forced to try to figure that out. In which he does a good job of getting in the way. Again,
Yep.
this goes back to the first segment. Um, I would like for our tight ends to just be in the way, and so in this point, the easiest way to fix your tight end situation. I mean, one, you do have a true freshman named Trinae Washington that I would like to see get some time and let him figure it out. He's got the size. I mean, he's like 240, so he's a big boy. Um, I would like for us to actually like spread out the offense, just go four wide all the time. Like if you play NCAA, we play college football, 25 or 26. Usually when you run that spread offense that they have on there, the tight end is always like spread out. It's either two wide, two tight ends bunched in, or when they do a spread, they have like a tight end out there as a slot receiver. That's what we need to do. Just do that. Stop trying to make these tight ends block. Like it's getting old. It's getting annoying because it's unfortunate that none of them can do it. They brought in Caden Helms, who had some moments, but then he was bad. You bring in Carson Kent, bad. Will Huggins went in there, bad. And it's like the one that can block. I think Huggins and Kent have moments where they can. Well, Huggins can block. He can't catch. Kent can catch, and he kind of can block sometimes. But Kanik is your most dynamic dude. So to me, put him on the slot, man, and just have him go out there and catch passes, or have him do a crackback and just get in the way. And he's good at cracks. We saw him even crack the linebacker for Michigan. Can't think of the kid's name on top of my head right now. The really good one, but he cracked him on a run, and he got leveled a little bit. But because he bounced and was in the way, dude couldn't get to Mateer, who ran it up the side and was good to go. That's what you need to do.
Yeah, put Jaron Kanik out in the slot. Don't make him play an inline tight end position. He's not big enough. First of all. Like he's not a 250 guy, 240 guy. He's like 230 probably. Or run him as that traditional H-back style. Like have him motioning across the formation behind the offensive line. Use him that way where he can get a little bit of a head of steam and he's not having to fire off the line of scrimmage to try and block defensive ends or climb to the second level and get to the linebackers. Use him as a fullback or split him out wide. That way you can reduce or take a linebacker out of the formation and give yourself a little bit lighter of a box to run against, because having the tight ends in the box is not helping your offense run the ball. So try something a little bit different. And hey, if you just want to go four wide and spread it out and put Giovanni Gibson and Keontez Lewis and Deion Burks and Isaiah Satania out there on the field together, by all means, let's go with that. Like, let's really spread it out and then just throw a lot of bubbles to Isaiah Satania and Deion Burks and let them do something with their quickness and their speed and see if you can make some plays happen as an extension of the run game. Throw some swing passes out to Tory Blaylock and Xavier Robinson out in the flat, because we know X-Rob can catch the ball and he's actually really good with it after the catch. So get him the ball out in space and let him go run over some cornerbacks. Like, there are ways that you can create some easy plays that pick up some yardage for you that aren't just pounding it up the middle. So get the ball out quick, use your athleticism on the outside, and see if you can create some easy yardage that way.
Yeah, that's it. There's so many ways that you probably can get creative. We just got to get creative in how we do things. And I know that we can do that. I mean, that's why you hired Ben Arbuckle. So kind of show us what, the money we're paying for this offensive coordinator. Show us that you can do that kind of stuff, because we believe you can. There were plays in a lot of these games that we've seen people wide open. So let's take advantage of that. Let's make that happen. Let's help John do the simple stuff and let John go out there and throw to the tight ends, but just don't do it off the line. Like, just don't ever do it off the line. Let's go veer and shoot if we need to. Let's go all the way to the edges. Spread these bad boys out and make them work, because even though it doesn't seem like they can, these players do have a tendency of breaking some tackles and going out in space. I mean, we've seen Satania do it before. We've seen Burks do it before, right? You've seen your running backs break a tackle and go, heck, we've seen John break tackles and then go run for 15, 20 yards and throw deep passes. Let's do that. That, to me, there's your success. If you do that, you should be good to go and cause problems against South Carolina this week. So let's go for it.
Yeah, and if the defenses don't want to adjust and they want to keep that heavy box because they're afraid of John Mateer, well, that just gives him a better opportunity to throw the ball. if everybody's condensed into the line of scrimmage, condensed into the formation, he's going to have some options on the outside. He's going to get some better one-on-one matchups if people are more concerned about him throwing or running the football. Make some adjustments, go from there and see what happens, because you got to figure out something. And listen, I don't think it's all just, hey, the offensive line is bad at blocking. Okay, they're not great. I'm not going to sit here and say maybe they're bad, but you can still find running room even with a bad offensive line, because you see it all in college football. Like, there are a lot of college football teams that aren't deploying 5 stars at every single position that can still figure out ways to run the football.
Yeah.
For some reason, Oklahoma can't this year. So again, that comes back to our first segment, Jay. Commit to the run game. Actually commit to it. Don't go away from it just because you only got a 2-yard run on 1st and 10.
Yeah. I agree with you there. We need to go ahead and just do that. Get her done, guys. Just get her done.
All right, and that's going to do it for today's episode of Locked On Sooners. Thanks so much for tuning in, being a part of the show. Subscribe to the show wherever you get your podcasts. We're free and available on all podcast platforms and on YouTube. Hit that subscribe button. Hit that notification bell to let you know when new episodes drop. Make sure to subscribe wherever you get your podcasts. We're free, and we're available on every podcast platform. Follow Jay at Unfair Sports. Go check out his channel, Unfair Sports, over on YouTube. You can follow me at John9Williams and read my work covering the Sooners over at SoonersWire.com. The show is at Locked On Sooners on all of your favorite social media platforms. But until next time, he's Jay Smith. I'm John Williams. We'll talk to you then. Boomer
Sooner.
It's going to be fun playing the real USC this week.